Welcome to Nerdindex. Today we're giving our final review for Sakamoto Days Part 1. I've never read the manga, so I didn't have many expectations going into this. The first episode kind of reminded me of The Way of the House Husband. They both have a male main character from a dangerous walk of life who's decided to trade that in for being a family man, and who has a kohai from his past still following him around. But Sakamoto Days quickly differentiated itself from that starting point by offering some very interesting world building and character backgrounds.
It was fun to learn about what each character's quirk was as we got to know them.
It's the kind of show where it has a lot of action, but it's not meant to be overly dramatic. Just because the synopsis says that this is about hitmen doesn't mean that you should go into it expecting a serious tone. The show relies more heavily on the comedy side of things, and I've seen a lot of people drawing parallels between it and Spy Family. As long as you suspend disbelief on how they survive certain things or how they go about defeating other hitmen, then you should have a fun time. We actually end up beating a lot of people with the power of friendship as well. I don't know why, but while looking at this from the outside in, I hadn't expected Sakamoto to be the man of few words type of character, but I think that they made it work, especially since Shin can read his mind.
Most of the time you couldn't even tell if he was talking or not, which didn't really matter, usually.
Because he's just talking through the mustache.
Just gotta look for the little mustache wiggles.
Nagumo and Seba ended up being my favorite characters. Even though they both only had short amounts of screen time, they had a lot of presence during those moments, and I think that Nagumo is particularly intriguing because we still don't really know what he's fully capable of.
I felt like all the characters were good, but I don't really know if any of them stood out more than the others, but more how they built off of each other, like how Shin was Sakamoto's translator a lot of the time.
This first part of the show only whet our appetite regarding the Order and Slur, so I hope the second part goes more in depth there. But now that we've been introduced to the escaped convicts, I worry that they'll be the sole focus of part 2 and we'll only get more crumbs about the Order and our main antagonist again. Overall, I think this was an enjoyable watch with lots of room to grow, and I look forward to watching part 2 in summer. This was an 8 out of 10.